The morning sun cast long shadows across the dusty road as Zixara adjusted the thermal regulator beneath her synthetic skin. The device hummed softly, maintaining the illusion of human warmth that had become her daily armor. On Earth, she was Emma, just another struggling single mother in a world that had no idea it was sharing space with refugees from the Andromeda conflict. Her daughter, Lisazor Lily, as her kindergarten teacher called her, skipped ahead, her backpack bouncing with each step. The child had inherited her father's gift for adaptation, her morphogenic cells perfectly mimicking human physiology. Unlike Emma, who still struggled with the weight of Earth's gravity after 2 years, Lily moved as though she'd been born here. "Mom, why can't we take the bus like other kids?" Lily's voice carried the particular whine of a 5-year-old who'd asked this question 100 times before. Emma's 3-chambered heart clenched a sensation. The doctors back home had called car thresh the pain of necessary deception. "You know why, sweetheart? The scanners at the bus depot." I know," Lily sighed, her bioluminescent freckles threatening to flicker through her skin before she caught herself. "We have to be careful." The walk from their apartment to Riverside Elementary was 4.3 miles each way. Emma had measured it precisely the first week, her internal nav system calculating optimal routes, identifying potential threats, mapping escape vectors. Old habits died hard for a former tactical officer of the Resistance. They passed the same landmarks every morning: the boarded-up grocery store where human addicts gathered, the community garden where Mrs. Chun grew vegetables that reminded Emma of home, the overpass where she'd once hidden Lily from a police patrol when her daughter's eyes had briefly shifted to their natural violet dot at the chain-link fence surrounding the school. Emma knelt down, pulling Lily's jacket closed against the October chill, something her people never felt on their thermally stable homeworld. "Remember the rules? No glowing, no lifting heavy things, no talking about the stars." Lily recited the litany that had kept them alive. Then softer, "I wish Dad was here." Emma's vision blurred not with tears, her species couldn't produce them, but with the chromatic shift that signaled deep emotion. "Me too, little star." "Me too." She watched Lily disappear through the school doors before beginning the long walk back, her legs already aching from the morning's journey. By the time she returned home, she'd need to rest for an hour before her shift at the diner began. The job paid minimum wage, barely enough to cover rent and the black market. Suppressants that kept their biosignatures hidden from detection, the weeks bled together in a rhythm of survival. Walk, work, walk, home, sleep, repeat. Emma's body began to deteriorate faster than she'd anticipated. Earth's atmosphere, its gravity, its radiation, all subtly toxic to her physiology. The suppressants helped, but they were expensive, and she'd been cutting her own doses to ensure Lily stayed healthy. On a Tuesday in November, Emma's left leg gave out 3 miles from the school. She caught herself against a telephone pole, her vision swimming, the regulator beneath her skin beginning to overheat. Through sheer willpower, she made it to the pickup point, leaning heavily against the fence as Lily emerged, her daughter's face crumpled with worry. "Mom? I'm fine," Emma lied, the words costing her dearly. "Just tired." They made it 2 blocks before Emma collapsed. The truck pulled up beside them with a screech of brakes, a massive 18-wheeler with rust spots and a faded logo. The driver's door opened and a man jumped down. Jack Cordova had been hauling freight across 3 states for 15 years, and he'd seen plenty of people in trouble. "Ma'am? You okay?" His voice was rough but kind. Emma's training screamed at her. Danger, exposure, run, but her body wouldn't cooperate. Lily clutched her hand, terrified. "Please," Emma whispered. "Just need a minute." Jack's weathered face creased with concern. He'd seen this before: single mothers pushed beyond breaking, too proud to ask for help. "Listen, I'm heading east on Route 40. I can give you a lift if you need it. No strings, just—" "You don't look good." Every instinct told Emma to refuse. But Lily's frightened eyes made the decision for her. The truck's cab was warm, cluttered with maps and coffee cups. Jack kept up a steady stream of conversation as he drove, never prying, just talking about the weather, the road, his daughter who was studying engineering at State. "You walk this every day?" he asked finally, his tone carefully neutral. Emma nodded, too exhausted to maintain her usual defenses. "That's 8-9 miles round trip." Jack was quiet for a moment. "Look, I'm not trying to get in your business, but I drive this route every weekday. School's on my way to the depot. If you need a ride, I got room." Emma's translator implant almost glitched processing the offer. Kindness without expectation was rare and her experience rarer still in a universe torn apart by war. "Why would you do that?" Jack shrugged, his eyes on the road. "Because my sister used to walk my niece to school every day, 5 miles each way. Worked 2 jobs, too proud to ask for help. She ended up in the hospital with pneumonia." He glanced at Lily in the rearview mirror. No kid should have to watch their parent fall apart trying to keep them safe. Something cracked open in Emma's chest, not physical, but deeper. "I can't pay you. Didn't ask you to." Jack pulled up to their apartment complex. "Tomorrow morning, 7:15, I'll be here. You don't show, no hard feelings. But the offer stands." That night, Emma held Lily close, her daughter's artificial heartbeat syncing with her own. "Is he safe, Mom?" Lily whispered. Emma thought about Jack's calloused hands, his quiet dignity, the photo of his daughter tucked above the visor. She thought about humanity, this strange, stubborn species that could be cruel and beautiful in equal measure. They fought wars over resources and ideology, yet individuals would stop to help a stranger. "Yes," she said finally. "I think he is." Jack was there at 7:15 the next morning, and the morning after that. Within 2 weeks it became routine. He learned that Emma liked her coffee black, that Lily loved knock-knock jokes, that neither of them ate meat. He never asked about Lily's father, about why Emma had no family, about the faint accent that didn't match any earthly region. One morning, 3 months later, Lily's regulator malfunctioned. Her eyes flickered violet for just a second as Jack helped her into the truck. He froze. Emma's hand moved to the pulse weapon disguised as a lipstick in her pocket. This was it, the moment her carefully constructed life collapsed. Jack looked at Lily, then at Emma. His expression was unreadable. Then he reached into the glove compartment and pulled out a small device, a bioscanner, military grade, decommissioned. "Had a feeling," he said quietly. "About 3 weeks in?" Emma's world tilted. "You knew?" "My buddy from the service works at Wright-Patterson. He tells me things. About the crash in '83, about the treaty we're not supposed to know about." Jack's voice was steady. "About refugees." Lily clutched Emma's hand, trembling. Jack looked at them both, his expression softening. "Listen, I don't know your story. Don't need to. But I know what it looks like when someone's running. When they're scared. When they're just trying to protect their kid." He started the engine. "Far as I'm concerned, you're Emma and Lily, my friends who need a ride to school." Emma felt something she hadn't experienced since leaving her homeworld: hope. Not the desperate, clawing hope of survival, but the warm, steady hope of acceptance. "Thank you," she whispered, the words inadequate in any language. Jack just nodded, pulling into traffic. "That's what humans do," he said simply. "We look out for each other. All of each other." In the back seat, Lily's eyes glowed softly violet, no longer afraid to let them show. And Emma realized that maybe, just maybe, Earth could be home after all, not because it was safe, but because, sometimes, humanity was exactly as good as their science fiction claimed.